right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the St. Louis podcast for July 21st, 2023. I am again your only glorious host today, Eric Brown, partner and chief sales officer at Vi Media, as well as a partner in a holding company that owns multiple home service businesses. Today we have Farrell and Alby Luciani on the St. Louis podcast.
My man said it right.
That's right. You know, that's Sicilian blood in me, even though I look Irish, which I am.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to get in the weeds with him and them and their business. But before we do, this is the St. Louis podcast, where each and every Friday at 7 a.m., we drop an episode on all major podcasting, audio, and video platforms, where we meet with the most badass people and creators to talk about business, entrepreneurship, and current events. You can watch the show live or later on youtube.com/the St. Louis podcast, just like Katie Baker and Matt Parker are right now. Now let's jump into it. Luke, Alby, how you guys doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you guys for hosting me on the show. I've been waiting. I've been listening.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you guys. We're excited.
Yeah, dude, I'm super jazzed. You guys were just teasing me about being the old guy in the room, but I can tell my mom I was on a podcast.
That's right. That's right. So, again, we got Luke and Alby on here. Luke's the CEO of Mango Social Marketing, owner of the St. Louis Bucket List, and podcast host of the St. Louis Bucket List show. And then we got Alby, owner of Social Indoor St. Louis. So we'll get into the weeds with them about their business. So I kind of wanted to open it up. You know, we got social. We really got, content, Social Indoors, as you can see. Here's what they're doing, really representing small businesses. And, I kind of think where we have a lot of similarity and where we talk about is the fact that most marketing companies are straight up out here stealing small businesses' profits and taking it to the dome, putting it in their own pocket, and not putting it into an avenue that's actually making them money. Mm-hmm. I mean, the whole reason that we kind of, started Vi Media is because we got burnt by marketing companies before we even started this, 7 years ago. And we saw how much money is being wasted really in, social media, if it's in ads, if it's in SEO, content making, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. These companies are spending buttloads of money, or even if it's a small business, spending $1,000 a month, right?
Which is buttloads of money.
Right.
A lot of money.
Right. Exactly. So, this money needs to go a far way for those businesses. And it just, I think we have kind of the same mission of making sure that we're putting, our clients forward and making sure that at the end of the day, we're driving them profit and revenue. So with that said, what are you guys doing now? What's kind of the goal of obviously the boards? Why are you guys doing this?
You want to start or you want me to go?
I can start and then I'll pass it off to you. So, basically the goal of STL Bucket List is to highlight the people, places, and events that make St. Louis special. With that mission, we, highlight restaurants, we highlight people, things that make St. Louis unique. And we focus just hyper-local on St. Louis, and we've done that consistently for 4 years now, and grew a following of over 132,000 followers.
Nice.
Organically.
Don't forget STL Graham.
St. Louis Graham as well, we have that. But it really is just using where people's eyeballs are at. We noticed that people between the ages of 21 and 44 are spending most of their time on Instagram. Mm-hmm. We just see it. We see the changes on Facebook. You go to Facebook, you post stuff about, updates to your family and stuff like that. But really people are spending time on Instagram. When I met Alby, when he had moved to St. Louis, he had this, digital billboard. And at first I'm like, yeah, that's really cool. But after seeing the mission and what he stands behind and our connections to restaurants and local businesses in St. Louis, and Alby can kind of take it from here and just tell you a little bit about the actual billboards that we're putting up in physical locations. Mm-hmm. We're bringing social media inside of businesses.
Yeah. Dude, that's well said, Luke. Social media inside businesses. First order of business, I got to teach you. My name is Alby. Like what Albert. You said Alby, like a good Southern boy. Eric doesn't like that. You're good.
Sorry,
you're good.
I got the last name.
You did, and that's the hard part.
Mr. Luciani.
That's the hard part. So I came from the magazine world. There's 1,000 profitable print magazines in this country, even though print died on paper 20 years ago.
Now it's profitable for them.
Correct.
Not...
Very big distinction. Mm-hmm. But there's something really powerful in the psychology of a small business to be seen in their community. Like, the thing that a lot of marketing companies miss is they don't know the clients. You know them because you lived it. You've been on the other side of it. But all of us who are entrepreneurs, we all have the same fears, the same things that drive us, the imposter syndrome that swells up even when you have a banner day and everyone says you're so great. You go down in the basement and you're like, holy cannoli, I got to figure this out, right? For some of us, we love it. For other people, it's overwhelming. But the truth is, that is what comes alive in the community. That is why people will, not have $500 for an SEO campaign that will deliver them 10 jobs, but will have the same $500 2 hours later when their kid's soccer coach calls them. Says, will you put your name on this jersey and, we'll have 6 games and it'll be the same 30 parents and then it'll go to Goodwill, but he'll just write a check, right? The same reason people will, pay a chamber $300 to put a flag next to
community
a golf hole. Yeah. Right. And that's really what all of those magazines did. When I was in the N2 world, I was really good at that. Like I set a bunch of records there really because I put systems to it. But every single one of those works the same. If it's real producers, if it's Stroll, if it's Be Local, and even outside of N2, the city lifestyles of the world, all of their competitors, the argument's the same. The audience reads it because the audience is in it. Yes, that's true. You see someone you went to high school with on the cover of a magazine, you open it up. But at the end of the day, it's a freaking magazine. And
I don't know the last time I've opened a magazine.
Correct.
I'm serious. Like,
now, it's true.
Years?
Now, but all of those are full of small businesses because they don't have anywhere else to turn. And so they can choose between magazine A, magazine B, paying the school more money to put their banner on the side of the football stadium
PSA,
or something. Right. But those are who we're going after, right? What we're doing is we're creating the magazine vibe on steroids because we're making it more flexible, we're making it cooler, and then we're incorporating a lot of the elements that we know work from other magazines or from other advertising models, right? Like you mentioned content creation. Biggest racket in our industry. There are literally thousands of people that were graphic designers months ago that now all of a sudden are, I manage social media, and they don't know how Meta's algorithm works, right? They meet a small business owner in their B&I group, and then they get paid $1,000 a month to make freaking Facebook posts. It's stupid. And people don't have any other option. But when you think social media is the only option, all of a sudden that ad creation bucket is really important. I need organic followers. You can get 4-5 times more ROI. And what they're measuring is what you're scrolling through, right? We've eliminated that entirely. You can't go to one of these venues and not see this. Like I literally just sold an insurance agent half an hour ago. Shout out Jason Faust. State Farm guy. You guys should check him out. But we went into Joe Bacardi's and I was like, well, the easiest way to do this is let's go use the facilities. And he walks there and it is right in your face. Like that ability to be seen no matter what, like he mentioned, that is what advertisers are really after. And what that is the means to what content creation is the means to that is the end. Does that make sense? The other things that are really impactful are like what you guys do. The whole argument of SEO is you will be the top competitor. That is super, super, super impactful, especially for service industries. When someone is looking for your service, do you show up first?
That's literally what I say all the time. I'm like, we get businesses found by the people searching for the services that they offer. I mean, that's our whole goal. That's all we care about.
That's genius and it's smart. And it's also why you guys take one of each industry, right? Because it's a conflict of interest to have them compete with each other.
We can't have 5 roofers in the same city otherwise.
Right. And you guys are actually good enough to make that work for them, which is why you've grown so fast, right? But the problem is there are 9,000 roofers. One gets Vi Media. What do the other 8,999 do? They buy back covers on stupid, shitty magazines. They buy, I mean, it's ridiculous.
They'll spend $250,000 on a television ad.
Correct. But we incorporated that same concept of I want to be the only competitor, and we made them truly the only competitor. We're the only ones that offer exclusivity, meaning that anybody that participates in any level, 1 screen, 100 screens, 1,000 screens, they're the only ones in their industry on that screen. That is really, really, really important It is a giant pain in our ass to manage. Full transparency.
Yeah, of course.
Shout out Kelsey Stevens. She's helping us a ton.
There we go.
But it's important for us to keep that element. And that's actually a problem that,
Why don't you have a minimum number of screens to be like that?
So we could do that, but we don't need to, and I don't want to. And
you don't need to yet.
Well,
what if you do in a year? You're like, shit.
We need more insurance agents, so we need more of this.
Yeah.
The truth is we set up our pricing structure so that the less screens you buy, the higher our margins are.
Sure.
Right?
Makes sense, yeah.
So if everybody buys...
You got to do the same amount of work.
Everybody buys 2 or 3 screens. It's actually better for us. We do not think getting rid of exclusivity or putting a parameter on it allows us to live our real mission, which is help every small business.
Right.
Like, we want to put 5,000 of these up so that every hair salon with $50 can be like, I want to be in the Mexican restaurant next door, and they're the only one.
Yeah.
That is really important. The other pieces that, people think are important in the ad world are like the measurements of impressions, right? This is the way we quantify what's being seen.
Right.
That we also stole in our model as well. We have the traffic of each venue.
Yeah.
We know that everybody who goes in the venue has to consume this on some level. You're either using the facilities if you're in a bar or restaurant, or if you're in a gym, you're using the drinking fountain.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gotten multiple clients that are literally like...
I saw your sign.
I mean, shout out to Prince. He's our chiropractor friend. He literally just called me one day and was like, yo, I'd look at this every day at the gym. And just called the number. And I'm like, yeah, that's us. Like, that's the point. So the measuring of who's seeing it is encapsulated in it. But what's different is how it's consumed. Like, the people that win in the straight number of foot traffic world, those are the billboards, right? You can say, all right, 300,000 people drive past this every day.
Yeah, one person looks at it.
Maybe. No one really knows that. But what you do know is
There's a couple good billboards in St. Louis that I say are worth their value. The main one I can think of, and I always say, is the one on 40. You're going downtown right before the AB sign on the other side.
I still can't get over when you say 40. I got to think 64, right?
Yeah, I'm from St. Louis, so yeah.
Which one is it? Which one is it? The one out right by the AB sign on 40.
It's like, right. It's so if you're going
that AB sign is money.
So yeah. So it's on the other. So it's on the
That's
other
right by
side.
Armory.
Yeah, if you're going east. So if you're going 40 east, it's on the other side of the building from where the AB sign is.
Okay.
It's always right there. It's usually a union sign, almost always. And I know they're spending buku bucks on it, but let me tell you, you almost always look at that one.
Yeah.
But a majority of them, you're not making shit. Like Chambers are out here selling it. You know, you can get a view every 10 seconds. You're on there for like
for the digital.
Or excuse
screens,
me, every like 6 hours you're on there for like 10 seconds. It's like
so
you're praying that someone's seeing that.
You're right. But even if they are seen, for most of the people that would buy into what we do, it doesn't matter. Like, they're not quick decisions.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of competitors. If you have a billboard in front of an exit where your McDonald's is, and it's a $1 cheeseburger, that shit's easy. I'm hungry, turn, great idea. Buy that billboard. But if you got to decide who is the realtor who I'm going to trust, you need social proof. You need to see her over and over. You need to know she took care of someone you knew. All of this is built into that medium.
Yep.
The idea for us to have people change this is not you can change your ad every day. It's put your damn customers on it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
You're a landscaper.
So this is more than just putting a post out about what they're doing. This is
we're putting the community on it.
I am
exactly. Shamelessly stealing everything I built into those magazines because it was good.
Yeah.
What was wrong was the medium. But think about it. I mean, you're a house painter, you're a landscaper, you're a kitchen and bath person, you're a realtor, whatever that is. Homeowner, I love what you're doing.
Yeah.
Your house is gorgeous. You know that chick just spent 15 grand on redoing her kitchen because she wants to show it off. Can I take a selfie? And your next job, you're going to get X% off for everybody you refer. I'm going to make you famous. Where do you hang out? I'm going to put you up on these 60 billboards for the next 30 days, and anyone who scans this QR code is going to be money in your pocket. Tell your friends.
Yep.
Then you know what happens? This where'd you go to high school thing acts as an accelerator.
Yep.
That was the part of St. Louis that blew my mind, that made me realize this is really the right idea. When I got here, I was like, where'd you go to school? I'm like, oh, I went to undergrad at Wisconsin. I got my executive MBA at Arkansas. They're like, now where'd you go to high school?
Yeah.
I'm like, I am 34 years old. Where the hell do you mean, where did I go to high school? But it's important. And that is really why this is the best place to do something like this. Something like this will work in any place with Midwestern values. But in St. Louis, this is going to be putting gas on the fire.
Yeah.
And once we start sticking in the gamification, once we start running the giveaways, once we start the Locals Choice Awards on the community level, people are going to be standing in line to look at your ad. And
that's so funny to think about, because a lot of, not really a knock, obviously, on what you guys do, but I think I feel like a lot of haters on what you guys do is you're just fucking hanging these up in bathrooms, right? Do you ever hear that? I'm curious.
all day.
Okay.
So actually, I'm happy you brought that up.
Okay.
So
I figured you would get that.
Every conversation we have goes the same
You're just
way.
hanging these up in bathrooms. Who gives a shit, right?
They know marketing. It's a beautiful conversation from the beginning.
Yes.
If they're a baby boomer female who's been in this marketing role at a small business for 25 years and actually doesn't know how marketing works, the conversation is, why don't you put these in a doctor's office?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Because you get 60 people a day that
There
sees
is
it. It's
no
a waste of
way
time. Yeah.
I am ever going to put this somewhere where you can walk past it and not see
Not
it.
pay attention. Yeah.
And people, even who know marketing, who love it, are like, okay, this would be great here. This would be great there. And like, the answer is yes. The truth is, this is the fastest growing segment globally for a reason. Like, you walk around a special economic zone in China, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Even newer cities in the Middle East, they haven't got to America on a big macro scale because Google and Meta control so much of the ad revenue.
Yep.
They have, you think about the tech world, they have the closest thing to a monopoly that could exist in American law, really, because no one knows how to deal with it.
Well, we have right now our government goes after Activision with the Activision Microsoft, thing, instead of, say, going after Google. For literally, I love Google. But at the end of the day, Google is non-competitive. They own marketing. They own internet marketing,
and
essentially.
Meta's the same, but there's no rule book for it.
Correct, yeah.
Right? That's really the difference, is the monopoly laws haven't caught up.
Well, there's no monopoly with this.
There's not. Well, there's about to be. It's called STL
Yeah,
Bucket List.
right.
But, hey, competitors, come on through.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the truth is, you're going to see 30,000 of these in St. Louis. Most of them are going to be programmatically done.
Yeah.
They're going to be at QTs, at Circle Ks, at Hooters, at Chili's.
But not
at
social
Texas
indoor.
Roadhouse. Correct.
No.
Okay.
When I say programmatically done, what I'm talking about is what you're already starting to see in Schnucks. You ever
Sure.
walk through Schnucks
Yeah.
and you see that Tylenol sign or that Coca-Cola sign? Big national brands are pulling money away from Meta and Alphabet, and they're putting them into this out-of-home segment. And so in the restaurant and bar world, what that really looks like is that looks like Coca-Cola says, hey, Hooters, here's $5 million.
Yeah.
Put up 50,000 screens.
Yeah, Red Bull's doing it a lot already.
Red Bull's already started, right. I think, really from me looking at the map and writing down how many Google reviews are in every freaking restaurant in the city,
Yep.
I think there's going to be 30,000 of these. I think if we can get 5,000 of them, we can have the kind of infrastructure where every small business can oscillate in and out of it. And even though we're 1/6 of them, it's going to be a lot more impactful because we have the bucket list side and the Instagram and the gamification and the eyeballs of St. Louis. But in order to do that, it's hard. Like, I had to fight with Social Indoor to tell them, I do not want any programmatic ads in here. Alby, you're leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
Like, you really should do this. And I'm like, stop.
Yep.
Listen, give me 90 days. And then it's funny because now the conversation is totally different. Oh my God, you guys are on fire.
Yeah, I'll bet
how do we
get this to
replicate
work in
this?
other-
I'm
Yep.
like,
Yep.
don't put a freaking gun control ad in a Missouri bar because it's okay in Minneapolis. Like, you got to know your audience, homie.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's really interesting. What we're doing is special. It's not going to stay special unless we incorporate the community part. There will be bigger, better, more awesome screens. That is going to come definitively. You already seen them in the Central West End. But all those really are smaller, shittier billboards unless they get the captivity piece.
Right.
Which is why we're the only psychopaths running around saying your bathroom's the way to go.
Yeah.
But it really is the way to go.
It is. all right, let's just say from a guy's perspective, right? I drink a lot of water. I go to the bathroom. I'm a hydrated guy. You're using two hands, right? Right? Your hands are busy. So you don't got it. You're not looking at your phone, right?
Oh, while you're peeing? Absolutely
No,
not.
You're not.
Yeah.
So you're just staring at the wall.
And you're definitely not looking at the dude next to you. That's for damn
So
sure.
and then imagine if you're at a bar. So hey,
Maybe.
Eric,
You're not?
Eric, you're at a bar. You had a few drinks. You had a few espresso martinis. I know you like
hell
espresso
yeah,
martinis
hell
and Bloody
there we go.
Marys.
Yes, sir.
You lean back because you're a little tipsy. You look up. And you're just staring at an ad from a local realtor, and you really want to buy a house because
Yep.
you're tired of going to the bar every night. You
Yeah.
know? Boom.
There we go.
It's very true. And better yet, that realtor has a picture of the teacher she just awarded for her Realtor Teacher of the Month thing. And you know that teacher because your kid went to school.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are so many things you can do with it. What people are really doing, like they're buying ad space, yes. But what they're really doing is they're buying digital real estate.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
You're a school district. You can buy 100 screens for $20 a month and literally sell them by the day to parents to give shout outs to their kids for $1 a day
Yeah.
and make a 50% margin. If you're a real estate broker, you could literally lock up some screens and sell them to every one of your agents at a much better value than anything else. Like, it is really a tool for small businesses. And that's what I tell everybody with our ambassador conversation. Like, we are building this through small businesses, through word of mouth, through referrals, because that's who we're looking for. So the way that works, it's awesome. If you can't partner with us, you don't have $65, no problem. Who do you know? Let us put some money in your pocket. What venue are we not in yet that we need to be in? Introduce us. You get a free space. We've worked all that out in the margin to incentivize people to become mavens for us. It's really all based on Malcolm Gladwell's Tipping Point. You guys ever read that book?
I have. It's been a long time.
When I mapped all this out, I thought, all right, we're either going to start a revolution or I'm going to spend a shitload of money and fall on my face. And now, I mean, people be recognizing me in PJ's Coffee. And I'm like, hey. And they're like, oh, you don't know me? And I'm like, no. But you're everywhere. And it's like, yeah, I got here like 45 days ago. like, very nice to meet you.
Yeah.
But it's an orchestrated strategy. It's shit that the people at this table know how to do that small businesses don't know how to do.
Yeah.
And
so you said something interesting actually a couple minutes ago, and I think it's useful for anyone potentially maybe trying to start a business or thinking about the vehicle that they're in now. You know, you said you took a lot of what you learned from the newspaper world or the magazine world and moved that into obviously the digital world. So you changed your leverage. Like the vehicle that you are now making money in makes a hell of a lot more sense, not only from the standpoint of you being able to grow, but also from the standpoint of you actually
serving
the business owners instead of really being a disservice, like it was before. And I watched a podcast recently and it made me think a lot about like leverage in terms of, you know, what am I doing on a daily basis? And also, you know, to get Vi Media and also our holding company moving forward, you know, what actions can we be taking? So with that said, thinking about leverage, you know, what would you say to someone that's trying to start a business right now?
You want to go first?
I would say just leveraging your relationships with people. And one of the things that inspires me about Alby is how quickly he leverages these relationships with people. And it's not leveraging them in a negative way. It's how can I help
leverage
you?
is not negative.
Yeah. It's how can I help
enough
you?
people get what they want.
And what the conversation we had is he said, you know, Luke, you have this community of 132,000 people. If you look at Busch Stadium, there's 45,000 seats. That's almost 3 Busch Stadiums full of people that live within 25 miles that we have access to for free every single day. Every single day. Every time we post for a restaurant, they get 80,000 views. You can run an ad, yes, but people are making that.
You can't get 80,000 organic St. Louis only views that are painted in a cool light in any other way.
Yeah. So leveraging relationships with people that bounce off ideas. There's a lot of things that he's great at that I'm terrible at. There's a lot of things that I'm great at, like creative stuff, that he's terrible at.
Oh, yeah, I'm not an artist. Everyone knows I'm not an artist.
But I would say leveraging relationships, especially with you guys. I mean, even when I started my marketing agency, Garrett helped me out a lot. Asking questions to Garrett, guys that have already been doing things that you want to do. And it's really just asking. And, you know, you can't have what you you have to ask for what you want.
Yeah.
So, you know,
you just actually hit something super important on the head, which is talking to people that have already done it.
yeah.
Like if you're looking to start a roofing company or an HVAC, or you're looking to start a restaurant, go and talk to restaurant owners. Go and talk to those owners. See if you can shadow them. The best way to get it is being in the business. It's not watching a YouTube video. You'll learn shit that way, but it's being in the business.
Yeah. You're totally correct. And Lucas brought something up that I wanted to, but you know, this whole relationship that we have with you is a perfect example of what we're trying to build.
Mm-hmm.
Like on paper, we're competitors. Y'all sell ads, we sell ads.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is we have a different value offering for different people.
Yep.
We can piss and moan and fight and get mad at each other and lose, or we can be friends and help all the small businesses we want to help.
Yep.
Your success doesn't impede ours.
Yeah.
Right. And if you find out who those people are, it's always not even just in the marketing world. It's just adjacency.
Mm-hmm.
Like you are not a busy cardiologist without a handful of family practitioners that you've built a lengthy relationship with. B&I calls it giver's gain.
Yeah.
Right. I remember writing this into the end too, kind of like in our coaching manuals. I had a whole section about how important it is to get into those referral and networking groups. And that's really how I found you guys. And I came in here like a bat out of hell. I said, this is what I'm doing. You guys want to help. You were like, doesn't fit at all. But instead of saying, screw you, bye, you were like, you'll help this kid.
Well, also, and I think we've had a change in opinion on that too, because it's not.
Because I went faster than y'all thought?
Well, it's not. It's not only that. It was, well, at first I looked at it probably like most people did. It's like, okay, you're putting someone in a bathroom. Great. You know, how, at the end of the day, how is this going to help, you know, potentially my clients, right, that we work with? And the biggest thing we've always had an issue with is partnering with people, you know, that don't do what we do, but would make sense from a marketing standpoint. And people are like, you know, billboards or, you know, radio and things like this. And a lot of the time it doesn't make sense for the revenue of the business, right? To be in all of these different areas. But if you have, especially if you have the money, you know, say a smaller business, for example, that only has $1,000 to spend, they're not going to come to us. We can't help them because you need more money for us to do some damage and actually get you to where you want to be versus
playing a different game than we're playing.
Yeah. Exactly. Versus you guys, you don't need a small business doesn't need a massive marketing budget to do damage there.
Where you want to be the king.
Yep.
And what we're really doing at our core, we're pulling the venues reach with the advertisers reach. We're helping them both. The venues are getting overpassed by big chains with programmatic dollars.
Yep.
The small businesses are stuck in this rock in a hard place. I need this much money for Google. I don't have it. So my options are some graphic designer who's going to do magic on Facebook that they can't articulate or ever execute, or West County Living.
Yeah.
And we're just kind of flipping that script entirely. We're giving them a newer, fresher option. Oh, the Tuesday afternoon wine. I love this.
Shout out Wine and Cheese Place, by the way.
Yeah, thank you guys. Gave you a little bit. I'm just going to sip this.
But to answer your question about the ROI, so I'm real
transparent. We talked about this beforehand because the main thing we care about is ROI, and if that's like the main
ROI or die. Right?
Yeah. Fire or die, ROI or die.
So
that's right.
One of the differences between what you guys do and what branding models do is you guys can measure the jobs that come, right?
Right.
That is really important. What people in the branding space, the billboards, the magazines, the newspapers, the radios, what they do is they make it up. And I know that because I literally would stand in a conference room and teach 100 real producers people, this is how you calculate ROI for a roofer. This is how you break down your audience. But at the end of the day, unless they're booking the job through your site, you don't really know what their margin and conversion is. So all you can do is harp on the things that people harp on. The ad creation, the number of impressions, all the things that we built into this.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to use this for branding, it's the best way to be omnipresent. They'll see you at the gym. They'll see you at the restaurant. They'll see you at the bar. You're everywhere.
Yep.
If you want to use it for lead gen, that's a big difference in what we're doing. Obviously, it takes extra action because people aren't at the bar saying, I want a new roof like they are on Google.
Sure, yeah.
But we can actually build in tracking mechanisms, but there has to be a call to action, right? Like we can put a QR code on there and they can scan it and fill out whatever information they need.
Sure, yeah.
But the real beauty of this is we're leveraging our trade bank. Shout out Sudworks. They're giving us some beer to run contests.
Nice.
Right? And, you know, depending on what that looks like, it helps the bars, right?
Yes.
Like we got somebody yesterday who signed up who's going to be running away a free roof. And really what that looks like is nominate who you want, who is a first responder or a teacher, someone who is good for the community.
It's a good idea.
Scan the QR code, and we're going to make them famous and give them a free roof. That is a call to action that makes people want to interact and nominate their friends.
Do people scan QR codes?
They do if there is a prize attached to it.
Yeah, there's a serious prize.
The other benefit to that is it helps the venues. For them to be able to say, hey, we love first responders.
Yeah.
Check this out. They want to share it on their Facebook page.
Yeah.
They want to tell their staff about it. They are being helped by the advertiser the same way the advertiser is being helped by them.
Sure.
That's the real magic of what we're doing. You guys hear me say small business against the world. Like that is really what it is. Every venue knows, okay, you're going to get a bunch of cool shit from FCL Bucket List. You're going to get these bomb screens. They're the same resolution as the iPhone 14. You never have to hang another flyer. But the real catch is you got to open your world to those businesses.
Yep.
And everybody we're in is already doing that, right? We are not in Bar Louie
for
a reason. We are in Joe Bacardi's.
Why not?
Because it's not a St. Louis business that's going to open its world to the community. It is a franchise.
They're a franchise?
Yeah.
What?
They're all over. They're in
Same
Florida,
with Mellow Mushroom.
Midwest, yeah.
They didn't start here?
No, bro.
No.
Bar Louie was a bad example.
No.
But the people.
No, this is a great. Wait, Bar Louie didn't start in St. Louis.
No.
What the hell? I always just figured with the name Louie, they're from here.
Oh, that's fair.
That's
I
true.
never even thought about
Yeah,
that.
But really with these bars, look it up.
I'm pissed.
You probably went there like, I'm sporting local today, boys.
I don't.
But-
I'm not a Bar Louie fan, to be honest. So
where
it's all
I
right.
grew up in a working class neighborhood, which Milwaukee is a lot like St. Louis. That's why I love this place.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same vibes. Everyone came here, migrated as ethnic groups into one area. The Bosnians here, the Italians there, whatever. Milwaukee's the same.
Yeah.
Everybody worked at a factory. Everybody had the American dream available to them. All of that has really changed in the last 30 to 40 years, really since the invention of stock buybacks.
Yeah.
When corporations in America decided, okay, we're going to take all this money from wages and use it to buy back our own stock.
Yep.
It was really great for the baby boomers that were sitting in that room in 2003, but really shitty for everybody else. And that's why corporate wages have not increased. That's why the American dream really only exists now in small business. And it's also why you're seeing so many more small businesses. I think we're at the beginning of a dive into local vibe, even stronger than it's been. And I think the rise of AI will help small businesses. And I think you're not going to see us quit breaking records.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
when 2020 broke that record, everyone was like, God, be pandemic.
Do you think people actually want to represent small businesses? If you're not a small business owner, do people care? And the reason I ask that is Prime Day was what, last week?
Yeah.
Everyone and
Was
their
sharing
mom
stuff about
was
it.
posting about what to go buy in products. And I'm like, go find this shit local from a company right here in St. Louis and buy it from them. But it's all about convenience. And at the end of the day,
This is a
unless you're a
and.
small business owner, like understand that. It's like, it's just like whatever.
Yes,
I don't care.
Yes, and it's all about convenience and the price point and the ease of use in the product environment. But you think about the people, places, and events that make St. Louis special.
Yeah.
That is a different world. Like for me to choose to buy this bottle of water from Amazon versus Schnucks doesn't feel different to me.
It doesn't feel different to me either.
But to go to Joe Bacardi's instead of going to Buffalo Wild Wings is a very different experience.
1,000%. I don't go to chains. If I'm going out, I don't go to chains.
So that's what I mean by yes and. It depends on
and
the
it sucks
product.
for those chain owners.
And in
but,
the service
And a lot of those
world-
guys are locally owned franchise owners too,
Yeah.
which sucks. But
Yeah.
it's
build your own restaurant.
yeah.
well, the service world particularly, I think you're going to see more and more and more of that. And you're even seeing it in the branding of big franchises. They
Yeah.
want to brand it locally.
Yes. Yeah.
This is not cottage care anymore. This is
They're
St.
going
Charles.
They're
cottage
going
care.
DBA. They're going DBA. So they're going to like try and brand it for St. Louis. If they go into a different market, they'll try and.
I think the pandemic was one of the best things that happened to small businesses, in my opinion, because of how hard we tried to support local. You
Yeah.
know, like remember how bad and we keep going back to restaurants, but I feel the most, bad for
Well,
restaurants.
they got
had it the worst.
screwed the most.
Yeah,
That
like
hospitality and restaurants got screwed more than
and it was
anyone
hard
else.
for us, like as a marketing company. A lot of the times, marketing expenses were cut, and
Yeah.
we were cut. But at the end of the day, our overhead's not the same. We don't have as many employees per dollar that we bring in. But
Yep.
really, like the support local, at least in my household, like that is all we do, and it's part of our brand, of course. STL Bucket List, support local places, but there's something special about that experience that you get from going to.
It's the people.
Yeah, it's the people.
That's
We want to
exactly
buy
what it
from
is.
people. I will not use. I've used self checkout in the past, but every time I look at a self checkout, I do not want to use it. When I
Yeah.
go to Schnucks, I want to use somebody. That's what
Yeah.
I love about Deerbergs. They
Yeah.
have people still.
Yeah.
Like there's something about
You're-
getting checked
You're
out. by-
exactly correct.
It's an experience.
It's about experience and the memories, right? Like I think about the small businesses that I remember from Kenosha.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was literally Al Mizzarelli and Sons HVAC because they had the damn poster on the side of the football field.
Yeah.
And I'd get 38 yards and 3 first downs and be so happy. And my mom would take me to Infacino's with my cousins, right? Like that same thing is here. The only
Yep.
difference is Jerry Infacino is named Joe Bacardi. But everyone in St. Louis in their neighborhoods has that kind of vibe. And that's really what we're going to bring forward with this. Bucket List did a great job of starting that. St. Louis is big and the communities are different. And all we're doing now is taking it off of Instagram and into the hyper-local environment with everything that made Bucket List what it was.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well,
We're
social's just so busy.
expanding Bucket
Yeah.
List.
Yeah, social's just so busy. I mean,
busy.
you got thousands of people
Yeah.
you're following.
Meta
You know-
migrates over 100 million users because it's working.
Yeah, in
Like-
in the ad space, the nice thing about Google, what I tell with Google Ads is if you have a proper strategy in place, you're only spending money on someone searching for that keyword. Whereas Facebook, like a small business is competing with Walmart
Yeah.
for the same ad spot.
And when you click boost, you see the numbers change because it depends on what's happening in the algorithm at that time.
Yeah.
But then they're now so it's so crowded that you're boosting it and it's showing up 200 miles away in a different state.
Yeah.
And
a
that's
waste of money.
That's really like no one will tell us this, but I bet you if you sat in San Francisco behind the curtain, it's really the reason for launching Threads when they're doing it, right? They know that
I don't
is
think
almost
so.
dry.
What do you think so?
What do you think it is?
Elon hate. They're trying to get everyone that hates Elon to move over to Threads.
No,
and
I think that's
not
the
going to work.
convenient means to the launch, but they're not segmenting their
I
user
think they started
base.
building this when Elon
Are you on Threads?
bought Twitter. No, I'm not.
I know you brought. There it is.
So if
I
you're
just-
so if you're Facebook,
It's too much. It's too many socials. Like
if you're Facebook,
it's too many. It's too much.
if you're
what am I supposed
Facebook
to do?
and Elon buys Twitter, yes, you start an R&D project like all those companies do.
They said they built that with like 30 employees in like 90 days.
You
I mean,
click.
it's pretty simple.
You
It's-
click
it's
the
just-
go
you
button.
stole Twitter and just
Yeah,
made
you
Threads.
just hired somebody that he laid
You
off, and then they
click-
made it.
Yeah.
You click the go button for the revenue opportunity every time in that situation.
Yeah.
You build the asset, and they have it maybe because they hate Elon, but the go button is because of what we're talking about with boosting. They're seeing people leave their ad medium, and they need something new and fresh to give them,
Mm-hmm. But
which
the
is
thing is
why
with
they're
Threads-
comfortable separating their user
Threads
base.
isn't new or fresh. It's literally Twitter 2.0. Or it's
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 a
just
new
Twitter.
frontier for Meta to sell ads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a third thing. Like Instagram, when they bought Instagram, it was the same
Instagram's the
thing.
same. It's the same story as Instagram.
Yeah,
Thank
bought
you for
it.
bringing that up.
And
It's
then
exactly the
Instagram
same.
copied Snapchat and made
Well,
Reels and
it's-
TikTok.
Hold
and
on,
made-
it's not the same thing though, because Instagram was new. Instagram
And they purchased the company.
wasn't,
Yeah.
but Instagram wasn't a like.
You
It
mix-
was only Instagram.
But
Right
the
now there
Instagram
is
stories
Twitter.
was copied off Snapchat. The Instagram
Yeah,
Reels
that's
were
true.
copied off TikTok.
That's true.
So Instagram saw that those companies were successful and say, "Hey, we're better," and we just take it. and then they're selling more ads.
Thing,
You see ads in your story.
Yeah.
You'll see ads in your reels. So it's just all new
Threads
avenues.
is a means for Meta to sell more ads because the
Are you guys on it?
Facebook-
You guys using it?
Lucas, how many followers you got?
We use it. Oh, I use Threads. Yeah.
Couple weeks, you got what?
Well, like
10,000?
11,000 followers. Yeah.
11,000.
But that's because they made everybody auto follow. So anybody,
Yes.
so out of our 130,000 followers, 11,000 of them chose to
Correct. It's not like you
migrate
have,
over. It's the same
literally
guys,
you
same people.
automatically choose to follow everyone.
not-
No,
I
Meta
thought it was cool.
automatically chooses for you when
Right,
they're
you're like either yes or
migrating
no.
an
And
audience
you're like, yeah, I wanna follow the
over
same
to a
people.
new ad platform
I fucked
because
up and I
that's what they're
chose
doing.
no.
Yeah.
Whoops.
So you did make one. You
Yeah,
made
I
a
did.
Threads.
I didn't make one. Lucas
Look at
does
this
that
guy.
shit for
I
me.
thought it was your boy Garrett. I know
lied.
Garrett's on there.
I lied.
Garrett's
I
an
did.
ambassador
I'm not,
for it, bro.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
Garrett is
Is he
real
listening?
strong.
Is Garrett listening?
Real
he'll
strong.
He'll listen. Yeah, he's an ambassador for it.
He's an ambassador for Elon and Twitter. Fuck Threads,
Yeah,
dude.
that's his boy.
Yeah, I mean, did you see the AI video that came out a couple days ago? So
If it wasn't on the screen or something Lucas sent me, I ain't seen nothing in the last 6 months.
So Tesla released a video. It's their AI salesperson calling someone that's currently on the website of Tesla, customizing a car, get a call, AI, asked them questions. It was
They
mind-blowing.
answered the questions and everything.
Yeah, asked him questions. Like, it was a legit sales call and got him booked in to come into the dealership.
What's your guys' opinion on AI? You guys are a big agency, and I know you guys have been talking
So
about
we
it.
use it a ton for SEO.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And we
You're
have to.
using it to make your business better, like the
Yeah.
most
You're being way more
smart
efficient.
businesses.
Yeah. Well, it's like now we could get 2 times the production out of one person. And so it's great. We make more money, but guess who also makes more money? Our employees.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, we can now pay our employees a lot more money because each employee is able to make more money.
They can work
based
on
off
double
of
the amount
AI.
of clients.
Yeah, they can literally work
do
on
you think
double the
that-
clients.
Hey there, St. Louis podcast listeners. We've got some exciting news from our sponsor, Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, led by the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Lee. Mark Lee of Farmers Insurance is recruiting agency owners here in St. Louis.
That's right, Garrett, and everyone knows what Farmers Insurance is, and if they don't, they will now.
Yes, it's kind of a household name. That said, as many of you know, a large part of our audience is made up of badass business owners, entrepreneurs, and top producing sales professionals with an open mind like yourself. Farmers Insurance is currently searching for driven individuals who aspire to own their own business or already own their own business and want to add another income stream to join the Farmers Insurance brand and own their own insurance agency.
This is a stellar opportunity to build your own insurance agency from scratch, take over an existing agency, or if you're just a slow roller, we know you the guys out there, and ladies, get paid to train under an existing successful agency owner before starting your own.
Holy shit, Eric. That means that whether you have experience as a business owner or you've never heard the word business before in your life, there's a pathway to owning your own business through Farmers Insurance Agency led by Mark Lee.
That's right, you can become a Farmers Insurance business owner even if you've been homeless in the past, just like you.
Yeah, thanks.
If you've ever dreamt of being your own boss, building a team under a reputable brand, and making a difference in your community by offering top-tier auto, home, and commercial insurance to consumers and businesses in your area, Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, led by the godlike man himself, Mark Lee, has the perfect opportunity for you.
Visit insurancecareerstl.com to speak with Mark Lee, the district manager of Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, to become a Farmers Insurance agency owner today.
Did you hear that, St. Louis? Go visit insurancecareerstl.com. Insurancecareerstl.com. That is INSURANCE, career, CAREERSTL.com.
To become a business owner today, again, one more time, visit insurancecareerstl, as in St. Louis.com today. Right now, this second, or reach out to us at stlouispodcast.com and we'll introduce you to Mark Lee ourselves. And I promise he won't spell out insurance and career to you.
Now back to the show.
So do you think there's a downside of scalability? Because you're like, well, we don't really need another employee. But like every small business wants to employ more people. But I agree with you. And I think that it's always going to take a person. But that's awesome that you're thinking of that way.
It's
like,
always
we can
going to
pay them
take
more
a
now 'cause they
sentient
can-
being, but if this dude can field questions and answer things,
That's
like,
scary.
It's now
that's
like
the question: is it a sentient mind or is it a human, or are they different?
Yeah.
Elon started an AI company. I don't know what's going to go on there. But yeah, I was mind blown by it.
It was
I
hot for a minute, and I was scared. But then I was like, "This is fine.
I
It's just people are
think-
just gonna use it. We're just more efficient."
I
Yeah.
think
We're
in
just
the
better.
near term, the next 10 to 15 years, what it will do is it will level the playing field.
yeah.
It will push out all these fucking graphic designers who charge $40 a Facebook post. It'll get them all off everybody's payroll, and it'll allow people to prospect better, to search better, to execute the daily minutia of
Yeah.
their life.
Yeah.
And I think it'll level the playing field for small businesses. But that being said, I think that's a short term. I think long term,
Well, long term, they're going to create products specifically designed for industries
long term,
on the back end of ChatGPT or Bard or whoever.
long term, we need to figure out if we've crossed that technology threshold where it no longer makes sense for an individual profiteer to control something that has this kind of power.
Yeah.
Right. That's the fundamental
Yeah.
question.
Yep.
Z's been talking about that for 20 years. And like, I have this conversation all the time recently because everyone's talking about, the next presidential election. And it's like, there's a reason that the closest election in history was the year that everyone had the internet in their homes. Then somehow 4 years later, it was closer.
Yeah.
Then you fast forward and we go to, Barry, and then we move all the way over to somebody who's never physically been an alderman.
Yeah.
No political experience. The president, lowest approval rating ever, until somehow we decide we're going to take somebody who's been in Congress longer than most humans live and then go the complete opposite way, and he has a lower approval rating. Like, the whole system is too fast almost for an individual to be able to say, this sells more ads, let me pulse this out. Like, it's starting to mess with our democracy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're seeing it with the hedge funds and
YouTube,
the automatic home
YouTube
buys.
is blocking content now. I mean, we saw Jordan Peterson and JFK or RFK junior They removed it from YouTube for no other reason besides the fact that they have. This is why I'm on like an anti-Google tangent, because they just on YouTube they continue to remove content that they just straight up don't agree with, and that's it. It has nothing to do with anything else.
It's a fundamental question. Is this technology going to be so good that the idea of America no longer is what's best for the people, right?
I think we're already there.
Yeah,
I do
it's
too.
there. We're in it right now.
I think this is way past the Industrial Revolution. I think this is a once in a 10,000 years, like the way we invented fire and
Yeah.
farming.
Yeah.
I think this is on that
Yeah,
level.
yeah.
The wheel,
Yeah.
like this is not, the assembly line. Like, this is a big fundamental, everything is different moment. I think.
People are saying AI. This will transform more than the internet transformed.
wow.
Yeah, I think the
Civilization.
internet.
Back in the late 90s, early
Yeah.
2000s. Yep.
It makes sense. But then the real question is, does that belong to a billionaire in San Francisco? Or does that belong to a public entity
Everybody.
that but then are you communist? Or
Yeah.
like it's a slippery slope, right?
Well, with something like that, I mean, it's the same thing with internet. It's like, why do we have internet providers when the government has sent them billions of dollars to build infrastructure? It's like, that should be just like a utility.
Yeah.
Like, why would internet not be utility? And then we could have controlled pricing across the board, and it not
Well,
be.
and then
you go to fucking Alabama and you have to pay $100 in a small city for, 20 down, 20 up, versus here in St. Louis you got a gig down for $70.
So with 85,000 listeners, I don't want to get political, but
We get political every week. It's all
I
right.
think you're right in terms of
Biden
now
just
the
needs to go to bed.
technology is so good. He might be sleeping right now. What time is it? Now the technology is so good
He's taking his afternoon nap.
that it's like,
This comes out early.
Okay.
The episodes.
Oh yeah.
do
He doesn't
you
wake up
need-
early. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that speech he gave a couple months ago? He got flamed because he's like, I don't wake up early for these type of meetings.
I did not, but that's actually
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
But the truth is, I'm with you. Like, there needs to be a centralized authority that says the things that can destroy
But how do they not get corrupt?
everything.
How does that authority not get corrupt?
The only way that authority doesn't get corrupt is if they get extreme powership, like someone like Z has, where they say these are the industries: the internet, water, oil, the education system, healthcare, whatever is in that bucket
Yeah.
is controlled by the centralized authority with absolute power.
Yep.
Then the rest of it's a free enterprise. It's kind of mixing the ideas of communism versus the ideas of America, but that's a hard conversation to have. I mean, it's fundamentally un-American to say the government should control the internet, but I actually agree with you. I think most people that understand the power of what we have the ability to do now has a similar viewpoint. You just can't really say it. Like, how do you say it?
I say it every week. Or I try to, at least.
Every week on the St. Louis podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
There are a lot of
it's-
people. There are a lot of people. You say get a bigger government, they're gonna go bananas.
Well,
But I think you're right.
well, I don't know if the problem is. Yeah, I mean, we gotta. So a big thing that I always listen
Let's
to
get
is like,
real philosophical.
yeah,
here.
the
Leaning
big,
in right now. We're
I
like
mean,
getting really close to you.
The big thing is like we have a money problem in the United States, but the people in power don't think we have a money problem, like with the deficit and shit, because we are the monetary policy essentially of the world. So everyone wants dollars. It doesn't matter if we.
For now.
It doesn't matter if we're negative $50 trillion. We
Yeah.
can always print more, and it never matters. And I think it's hilarious. It's like small businesses. We have to balance the budget. Otherwise, we fire people. We lose our jobs. We lose our home.
Yeah,
we lose
everything.
whatever.
Yeah.
And versus that, it just doesn't happen there. So it's like it's just ridiculous. I don't know.
No, it is ridiculous, and the printing money thing is becoming a real problem. Like you look at the amount of money.
Apparently,
in
inflation is
circulation,
down though. Do you see
That
that?
has been-
Inflation is down. The market's up.
The
What
rate-
the fuck is going on?
The rate of increase.
I don't get it.
So really, I don't get it either. But what I really think is happening is the market is detached from the underlying fundamentals, really because of stock buybacks.
1,000. Yeah.
Like you look at the amount of money on stock buybacks. American corporations spend more money, which they've taken away from wages, which you think about the multiplier in economics, that means it took away from paying their employees
Yep.
who went out to dinner. Like, that's a big deal. They took that number is so high, it's larger than every other economy in the world except China. So Japan's economy, the third largest in the world, is smaller than the amount of money that, what is it, 1,500? How many Fortune 5 or how many publicly traded companies? Somewhere in there.
That's something like that. Yeah.
Just that handful of companies spends to buy their own stock. And that's why the market
That's
keeps
insane.
going up.
Yeah.
So
But
should it be
it's-
illegal?
It's
Well,
detached.
how do you change it?
You go back in a time in the 90s and you say all these ideas you boomers are coming up with are fucking bad. Don't kill your kids.
So you talk to small businesses a lot.
Yeah.
So what do you hear from them? Because I hear margins are slimmer, sometimes for some of these companies. And obviously we have those difficult conversations every month because they're getting a big bill every month. They're like, hey, man, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? So I think that it looks good on the outside, like what you're saying. But when you're going into these communities, our groceries are more expensive. Childcare is way more expensive. Our houses are hella expensive.
Everything is up. Everything is up, and everything keeps going up. So,
But our prices are staying the same for the most part. It's still the same for a burger at the places. For the most part, they might raise it $1 or $2. But like, if you're looking at your daily life, but then like when you go to get groceries, when
You
you're trying
can't
to buy
say
a house,
inflation is up and our prices are the same.
yeah,
Like they are going up
Well,
everywhere. Everything.
you just don't see it because
Yeah.
it's slow. Yeah,
There's different ways they pulse it out, but
Yeah.
as a macro, it's going up.
I was also listening to something interesting. A guy was talking the other day at an event I was at, and he's like, "That's $100 problem. Who gives a fuck?" And I was like, "Yeah." For me, I was like, "Yeah, I guess." But for most people, they can't think that way. For like, so gas is up, and people talk about gas all the time, and he's like, "Who gives a fuck? I pay the gas. What are you gonna do? Go down the street where it's 10 cents less, and you save $1? It's like, who cares? It's $1 problem. But at the end of the day, you add that up over a year, it's a lot bigger than $1 problem.
The real problem too is what we're moving towards is a caste system. Like you think about the last generation
Yeah.
has been the first generation where you cannot work your way up to another class,
Yep.
except for this little subset of small business. Small business against the world.
Yep.
But for the large majority
100%, yeah.
of American workers, that is true. The real reason there hasn't been a full-on revolution yet is because baby boomers have so much money and they're just gifting it to people. The real reason our spending has not dropped as an aggregate is because the percentage that boomers are spending is going up. They are just so rich, and they did it in a way where they shut the door behind them, and none of them did it on purpose, right? No one's like, I want a worse life for my kid, but it's all these decisions over time. The college thing was one of the worst. Stock buybacks,
so fucking dumb. Yeah.
one of the worst.
Yeah.
But there's many examples in literally almost every single industry where them acting in their own self-interest, which everyone has always done, which is an underlying fundamental piece of economics. What was different when boomers started to do it in the late 90s and early 2000s was we now had the technology that they could actually do it.
Yep.
That was the difference. They were really more like prisoners of their time. They're not any more evil than other generations, but they really have closed the door.
Even though we all say boomers ruin the United States.
I think it's
that.
time and place. I think it has to do with the rise of the internet and the rise of our tools. But I think they were acting completely rationally. But it's very true. Like you cannot be born, go to school, go to college, get a job at a company, and work your way out of your class. Yeah. You're in the class you're born, or you do something crazy in the small business universe.
100%.
If that window ever closes, then we're in a full-on caste system. Then we're India. Right? And the only difference between our decision-making process is all of this, is the technology changing, is the rise of everything we're talking about. There has to be a fundamental change to the system, or we got to shut all this shit off. And other countries aren't going to shut it off, so we need to make a fundamental change to the system. Yeah. Now, executing that change, that's another fucking tough nut to crack. Yeah. Because the truth is, in order to get in power, you have to serve those interests. Yep. And so it's a chicken and egg problem.
It is. Now that we talked about boomers, maybe we're the problem.
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
We will be soon.
Have you seen this Adam 22, the Island Boys news? You guys familiar with any of this?
I know the Island Boys. I do know Adam 22 from his podcast.
So do you know what happened?
I know Adam Sandler. What are we talking about?
Adam 22. He's got a podcast.
The No Jumper podcast.
Yeah,
Did you see what happened?
What happened?
So he got married like a month ago.
Okay. Congrats.
Now, he's a podcast host, but he also does some adult entertainment as well. Going back to kind of like, is the internet ruining everyone? Adam 22. This guy went on multiple
Eric's Bible verse.
This guy went on multiple podcasts in the past and says that he would never let his wife get slept with by another by another man.
I did see this.
Now what happened is Adam 22 cucked his wife out as a wedding present, filmed it, and is selling it on OnlyFans.
But wait, did he film it? He did not film it. He did not film it.
I'm almost positive he was there and filmed it.
There's no way that he filmed it.
I honestly have no idea what you guys are talking
he hired
about.
a company to film it. He was standing up there while they were
He had to be there.
He pimped his wife out on an OnlyFans video. But they made a lot of money, though, I'm sure.
Yeah, but they have kids.
They have one kid. And
They have one kid.
the wife, that's her job.
She's a porn star.
Yes.
Oh,
do they live
But
in
they
St.
only-
Louis?
That's a plug. That's literally her job.
Yeah, but
she's a porn star.
She stuck with women up until now. Up until they got married. This
is what I think about it.
blows
This is what
my
I think about it.
I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
So Adam 22 is a great creator. He's made a big podcast.
Yeah.
His numbers were probably going down.
They were going down.
And he said, babe, we got to do something. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to do this. And now I'm sure his numbers are through the roof. They're all making money. It's all going to blow over. Nobody's going to remember about it.
80% of the people in the room know who he is, so that's good.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't a good. This is a boomer.
Yeah. It all comes back to OnlyFans being like a massive problem.
I think it's terrible. I do think it's terrible.
So wait, how does OnlyFans work? I've heard people make jokes about it, but it's like Facebook, but then you can
pay to follow people.
Yeah, all it is like
it's
you
media
pay a monthly
everyone
fee
becomes
to
their own
see the
audience.
content, I think, right? And then you can
But then each creator
I've never bought
decides
OnlyFans
what their
'cause I'm
own
not a
price.
He's like, right.
right?
He knows exactly how much it costs. Let's
That
see your
is
bank
a-
statement,
wait.
bro.
Earlier, he literally said, "Oh, I thought you used to be able to see how many subscribers."
Well, because
they
he
had."
probably would look and see if they're popular, and then he's like, oh, like it could be a friend from high school. And he's like, oh, look at her. Oh, she's got a lot of
I don't know.
followers.
I don't know anyone personally that's on OnlyFans.
So
And
I do know a
Wait,
couple
let me
people.
tell you.
hold
I'd
on.
be
Is there a
upset.
price for OnlyFans?
Yes.
Or is it set for each
No.
individual?
It's
They
like
make their own
Patreon.
price.
It's
They
like
make their own price.
Patreon.
So
yeah.
a girl will put content on there that you couldn't put on any other place, and then they would charge $8.99 or $20. Or
But it's always
$50.
$8.99 or $20.
No, it doesn't matter.
It's their pocket.
They
Some of
just-
them charge $100+ a month.
Yeah.
And there's dudes out there paying them.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess
That's
chicks,
some
but-
entrepreneurial shit right there for the girls. Like, good work.
We'll put one on the board.
Yeah.
No.
Any OnlyFans
No.
models looking for it? Yeah.
Looking for ad spots.
Specific venues, but just so everyone out there listening, the 85,000 St. Louisans listen to this, there's 3 rules for the screen: no divisive shit, no pissing off an advertiser, no pissing off a venue.
Yeah. Fair
3
enough.
things. So what do you think of? What do you?
So to give you an idea, right? So the highest paid OnlyFans creator has 16.2 million subscribers monthly. Each one of those people pays $20 a month.
Holy
damn.
shit. Who is that?
Do you have any guesses who it is?
Kardashian?
Black China. Close.
Really?
Who is
Well,
that?
she is a Kardashian.
She
She was married to a Kardashian.
Yeah, she has a baby with Rob Kardashian,
Yeah.
the brother.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
16 million. Damn. Good
Why
for her.
are there so many,
Simps out
mainly
there?
men,
Simps.
paying for this? Like, fucking stop.
All I can say
Seriously,
is you asked
stop.
me before we start recording, if there's a number, 16 million times 20 per month is pretty
is
close
that?
to that number.
What is that?
A number to where I would never have a real
that
relationship. 'cause I'd be so
300
rich.
Is that 360 mil
24.
a month? Jesus
No way. Damn, good for her.
That's insane.
But so what do you think about it?
I think we're in the
I
wrong
hate it.
business, homie.
Yeah, well,
What
we're
does
obviously
Black
not.
China have that we don't? Who
A
is
lot of
Black
things.
China again?
I
That's the
think
Kardashian.
only
I've
she
asked
was
my
married
wife
to a
about
Only
that.
fans and prawn are ruining the United States.
I don't know what prawn is either.
But
Well,
like,
it's-
so what do
it's-
you think? So if
Why
they're
don't
on,
you move the R and the O from the word I just said?
so if
Oh,
they're
I know
on,
what
if
that
they're
word is.
on,
You can't say it on YouTube,
oh,
apparently.
you can't say it. So if they're on one of these websites that they have a management company doing it, isn't it better for them to do it themselves and control their
You would,
who they?
you would think.
Would you,
Why would
think-
you? Why would you have a management company for OnlyFans?
No, I'm talking about for the other websites that you would have to go to a studio. You would have to you don't even
Yeah.
know what's going on. At least you control your own profit.
Yeah,
You're
that's
like,
true.
hey, I can work with who I want.
No, if you're a prawn star, it makes sense to go
A
to
prawn
OnlyFans.
star?
Yeah, it makes sense to go to OnlyFans.
Well,
for
the
sure.
distribution model is just different. Like if you were a prawn star back in the day, you had to go to the studios,
I did
right?
not know what the hell you said. And I was like, what did he say?
Yeah, so it's
Oh, he told me to flip the
Yeah,
O and the
yeah,
R.
yeah,
shit.
yeah, it's prawn.
No, I know, but yeah, so good for Adam 22. I mean, he's confident in himself enough to do that.
that
but
kid. I feel bad for that kid.
poor kid.
That's all I know.
Aw.
Let me tell you, in middle school, say you found out someone in your class, their mom was on OnlyFans, bro. Are
that
you
would be-
serious?
we would all
That's
pay
a
it.
daily question. Can I get some free nudes right there? That's a daily
Oh,
question.
you already know at the lunch
how
table.
much it's going to cost.
So I do need to know where in the city that mom lives, though, because I need to tell advertisers. Because that chick will get eyeballs, and
No, but you would buy it at lunch and then you would put it up and show everybody in
Oh
the
my
locker room.
God.
I mean, like kids are evil, bro.
Dude,
Like, we would
check out
do-
Billy's mom, dude.
Yeah.
Be like, oh my god,
then-
that'd be the game over.
Oh, you'd have to move. You're homeschooled.
Yeah.
You're homeschooled.
You're homeschooled. For
middle
sure.
school is when people are the meanest.
1,000%. We're all going through puberty. We're all assholes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all realizing, like, wow, we can be whoever we want.
Yeah. Yep.
That kid's cool. Look at his
So what's up
earring.
with the Island Boys though?
Okay, so the Island Boys, right? They fell off. You know, Island Boys, those guys.
He doesn't know them either.
What the?
So the
I
Island
need
Boys.
Luke to translate for
Bro,
me.
I'll just show you this video.
Wow, look at those dudes.
These are brothers.
Oh yeah, that was incest.
Brothers from the same mother. So right now, is this an
So the
app?
Island Boys, I bought a
goddamn.
cameo one time for from the Island Boys because they were selling cameos for somebody's because they were really popular last summer.
Yeah, yeah.
And we went on a trip. It was like a bachelor trip, and we bought a camp. Oh,
so they got
So
an
they're
OnlyFans.
selling incest now.
They have an OnlyFans. I don't know. I haven't bought the OnlyFans, but the whole point of that was
put it on the Half Coast card. Let's
yeah,
just see.
yeah. Let's hey,
Come on now, Eric. Again, they're broke. Leave them alone. They have to make money
Yeah,
somehow.
let them
right?
be, bro.
So I'm just like, this shit's so wild.
Yeah.
I'm like, we got Adam 22 cucking out his wife, and apparently the Island Boys are making out with each other. They're homies. They're brothers.
They're a lot similar to us than you think. We're just out here trying to make
just-
money, bro.
we're
We're
just trying to
walking
hustle,
around
bro.
like the pursuit of happiness with our board.
Dude,
walking
so
door to door.
Lucas said that was the first thing he said to me. He's like, You rolled into my office, Pursuit of Happiness style,
That's
walking
so
with this
funny.
thing.
He had this
That's
board.
a great
I did.
movie.
He stumped this board up there, and he's like, "All right, bro," and he set it on my desk. I'm like, "What is this?"
That was less than 6 months ago. We got 300 of these going up now. Isn't that crazy?
But
That's crazy.
But I agree with the whole culture of like social media and Twitter. It does make it really scary for kids. My wife's a high school teacher, so I hear and see all this stuff all the time, and like the stuff and the stories that these kids know. Like, I'm 27. 10 years ago, we didn't know any of that stuff.
No.
We just were like, all right, we're gonna go to baseball practice. We're gonna go maybe drink a beer with my friend.
one
and
of
whatever.
our friend would steal a Playboy from his dad, and we'd travel for miles to see it. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't get exposed to any of this shit.
yeah.
Yeah, you're 7 years before that, so that was even way before that.
It's crazy. Yeah, I think we have a big issue. I think it all comes down to like personal issues. Like, it's like it goes back to that community aspect. It's almost like, so the Pavlov's hierarchy, right? It's like food and shelter. But then, and I was listening to Simon Sinek talk about this. Simon Sinek, badass. And then underneath that, you have like social. And what he said is, you've never heard of anyone committing suicide because they didn't have food.
Oh, that's true.
They're always committing suicide based on like social norms. They don't have friends or whatever. They're having an issue.
Yeah.
Because of course, if me, you, anybody in this room, hopefully was having those thoughts, they'd go to someone and
Talk to them.
any of
Friends,
the friends,
family, partners,
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, but that is almost like falling apart. People are always online now, say fucking on OnlyFans, talking to people that aren't really friends, right? And that they don't actually care about. It's like the crumbling of society as we can see it in front of
Get
our eyes.
off of OnlyFans and go to the people, places, and things that make St. Louis special.
Yeah.
And
Social
scan the
media is
QR
the same
code to
thing,
win the
though.
prize.
Social media is the same thing, though. It's
Same
like
thing,
a
yeah.
girl will feel bad about themselves, make a post, and they get a lot of likes, and then they feel better about themselves for that day.
Yep.
And then they're like, let me throw another story up so I can get a bunch of swipe ups so
Yep.
people talk to me. Guys have a unique thing with that. Like, we don't have people sliding up in our DMs. I don't know. Do you, Eric?
Please, hey,
Eric gets a lot of DMs.
Hey.
All right, it's a lot of nice comments. In
Eric
there.
Kempf Brown on Instagram. Go ahead and
We're
get
gonna post
in,
him on the bucket list and say, ladies, please just swipe
Get-
up on this man's DMs.
Get
for a
into
second.
these DMs. Yeah,
But
please
no,
do.
but it's
No.
so different. For
My
a guy.
DMs say, "Can I have more information about advertising?"
But no, you know what I mean, though. It's like we
Yeah.
can get that instant gratification. You post a lot on social media.
Yeah.
If a post pops off, it feels good. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
people are seeing my post.
Yep.
It's natural. It's
Yep.
just the same as if you walk outside and your wife says you look cute today. It feels good, even though you know she
yeah.
married you because you're cute, but it feels good when she says
Hopefully.
it. Hopefully. But
you walk into a Magway and you see that $20,000 kitchen you just bought your wife, and you say, "Man, I'm proud of that."
yeah, like stuff like that. So it's just, I think the social media is ruining it. And a kid that's in high school can look at people in California that have a lot more money,
Yep.
that are married, that have famous
It's
parents.
not apples
And
to
then they
apples.
look at their house and they're like, oh, well, our house is a decent 3-bed, 2-bathroom house in St. Louis, but I feel bad because these kids have a better life than me. We didn't even know like what kids were doing.
I
don't
knew
think.
California existed as a concept.
Parenting has gotten harder.
Yeah.
There's
For
no.
sure.
It's had to have.
For sure.
I'm not a parent. I don't know, but it's got to have been harder. Back in the day, you didn't have to explain a lot of the shit you have to now. Now you got them talking about trans when they're, it's 6 years old in schools. It's like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, it's tough.
It's-
What they're consuming is different, and then the parents' struggle of work is different. Like, you look at the work-life balance
Yeah.
versus the revenue that it produces for the lion's share of American families, and you don't see your dad.
Yeah.
You don't see your mom.
Mm-hmm.
That part is different, and then you combine that with all the social media stuff, and it is a scary world.
Yeah.
So let's get you guys' opinion on this. Apparently, everything could be fixed if there were just more ass beatings.
Nah, I agree.
More what?
Ass beating.
Ass beatings.
Just like,
If every single dude we knew bought an OnlyFans, they just get a
he won't give it up.
punch to the throat.
Are you angry that someone else
Bro,
thought of OnlyFans?
I want to
first?
call
It's like-
Eric out. I want
seems
to
like
check
a
Eric's
money
last 12
machine.
months of statements and just
I-
make sure and just confirm. Can we do that?
I have here. Well, let's just do it right now. I have
No, you're good.
I have LastPass on my computer, so you'd be able to see if I had an account.
Well,
No, those are just my saved passwords. Hold on. No, it's not.
no.
It's not popping up. No, it's just popping up my emails, bro.
Hold on,
Dude,
y'all.
chill, bro.
Chill,
Dude,
bro.
chill, bro.
All right,
it's
bro.
not popping up the actual login. Like, calm
Okay,
down, calm
okay,
down,
it's
calm
all
down.
good, bro. But you wouldn't do it on your computer. People use their mobile.
No, but I got LastPass on my mobile. It
Okay,
connects.
you're good, man.
It
You're
connects.
good, man. You're good. You're good.
I have
believe you.
never spent money on prawn.
Okay, that's good, but you don't have to though.
Why would you?
When I was a
Why
kid,
would you?
But do you take girls out on dates and spend a bunch of money though?
Yeah,
Of course.
but they're not on the other side of a computer screen.
So
All right. Well,
when I was a kid, I was entrepreneurial, and I had a big.
Yeah, slide into the
flooring
DMs if you want a dinner. That's right. Thanks,
he has,
Luke.
he has no last pass. You're good. Last pass free.
All right,
People are still listening at the end. I know
That's
people
right.
fall off at the end, but ladies, if you're listening, he does not have last pass.
No, I do have last
Oh,
pass.
he has last pass,
yeah.
but not on that website.
Yeah, correct. So before we get out of here, let's talk about get woke and go broke. Disney World. All right, so Disney World, they're down in traffic a ton right now in terms of going to actual Disney World. So traffic is down a lot going to Disney World. So by the way, hey, if you have no problem with Disney, now is a great time to go to Disney World because apparently the lines are short.
Amazing.
And that's the only time I'd ever want to go to Disney World because that's my main issue is too many goddamn people.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, they have lower amount of people going to the parks. Then they're releasing these trash movies. Seven Dwarfs. Did you see this? Did you guys see this news?
You were telling me about this.
Oh my
but
God.
You told us about this before.
So they are releasing Snow White, but it's not called the Seven Dwarfs. It's called Snow White and the Seven Magical Creatures.
Okay.
So Peter Dinklage, you guys know who Peter Dinklage
Yes,
is,
I know
apparently
who he
got
is.
upset about having whatever, small people, whatever the hell you want to call them. Let's not try and get canceled now. We made it all the way through the podcast almost.
Yeah, we were doing good.
Whatever. Right.
This is the moment we're canceled.
Yeah. Because we're calling them little
Going
people.
out with a bang.
So what's so funny is Peter Dinklage apparently got upset about this. Now, instead of seven dwarves, there's one dwarf. And instead of hiring seven dwarves for this movie, they hired one. And now they have 6 other people that are...
And those are the magical creatures.
Here's the photo of the magical creatures.
Okay.
What the hell is going on?
Yes, look at the magic
They're-
of all those different ethnicities.
So they're getting so much backlash right now because the movie is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So Matt actually asked a great question. Who's the grumpy one?
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be the dwarf? Are they going to make him the grumpy one? Or are they going to make him the happy one?
That's a great question. So I have an opinion about companies that go woke, and I have no, I think that in businesses that they try too hard to please everyone instead of just trying to please their actual customers. And it's really this system, and there's a lot of companies that do a great job, but you guys have probably talked about the Bud Light stuff, and that sucks for St. Louis because
we have.
That's real
all these people that
bad
work
for
in
St.
Budweiser
Louis.
and St. Louis, they're going to get laid off
There
because
is
of that one
a
mistake.
lot of them.
And really, it's in Bud Light. It wasn't even it was just somebody in the marketing team did something that blew up. But really,
She was pretty high up, though.
yeah, she was like the chief marketing. I
was
guess.
a
Did you see the video
But
that she
wasn't it
made?
just an influencer package? They just sent out beers to somebody. I don't know.
You just have to think about stuff like that going viral
right.
now, though. It's like...
As you're a big company, like
Yeah.
us as smaller businesses, we just don't have enough time to think of stuff that would be
No.
we're just worried about getting our shit done for the day.
You say that, but people are thinking about it.
Yeah.
When I'm signing up for these screens, I mean, I get that question 3 to 5 times a week. Like, hold on, you're not gonna put anything on here that's gonna get my restaurant canceled.
Yeah.
Right? And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, no. But it's such an interesting thing because the truth is companies are taking those actions to try to please people, like Lucas says.
Mhm.
Whether that person is one giant investor or a special interest, as we call them,
Yep.
or if that is, I think this will go over well for 21 to 25-year-olds like Bud Light was trying to do.
Yeah.
You're trying to take that action. What I think is really incredibly terrible is how fast it spirals out of control, and it's not even a misstep when they do it. They don't even think they made a mistake. It just becomes a mistake that can all of a sudden impact tens of thousands of employees and billions of dollars.
That's insane. That's insane.
It's mind-boggling.
All right, you guys are going to hate me, but I'm going to use the restroom.
Wait, I already
Cut it.
hate you, no?
in the middle of the fucking podcast, really?
I tried to make it. Sorry, hold on.
Break.
Like 10 minutes.
All right. I had to use the restroom. I'm so sorry to all the guests. We are back at it now, though. And we were just talking about all the jobs, essentially, that AB is going to lose based on one stupid marketing thing, and it spiraled out of control. So I'll toss it back to you because you were talking.
I was not talking.
I think I said something. I brought up the AB, but really it's like I'm looking at the guys that work at Grey Eagle Distributing, the bar owners, the people that have all these products, and it's really the same people that are canceling
Mm-hmm.
them are the same people that work at the places and are friends with the guys that work there.
Correct.
So I get cancel culture 100%. If people R. Kelly deserved to get canceled. We get that.
Yeah.
But there's some companies that just make a mistake. But what they did not do is they did not come out on a podcast, on a video, and read off a statement of why it happened
They
and
went
how they
silent.
could fix it.
Instead, they
That's
went
all
silent
they had to
for
do.
3 months.
Everybody's made
panicked.
mistakes.
panicked.
Everybody's
Well,
made mistakes. You just have to own it
This
up and
is
take
this
fault
is
and move on.
uncharted territory though, because in that situation, whatever you apologize for then becomes a crime during the apology.
Yeah.
Like that's the big difference.
So it's hard. I'm sure they had some tough
What
meetings.
should they have done then? After they did that and it started spiraling out of control, what should they have done?
What they should have done is advertise only locally in the people, places, and things that make
I thought you were
sense.
to say the boards. All right. All right.
I don't know. That's a tough one.
That's a higher level question.
They should have had a response saying, I don't even know. Like, the problem was it was a stupid thing to do in the first place, because if you listen to why they did it, it was, we did this because we were trying to go at an audience that thinks Bud Light is this, fraternity drinking beer. It's like, know your audience.
Right.
Literally know your who
Yeah,
likes
but-
Bud Light. Why are you
so,
trying to get into other avenues? It's like,
so I don't know what happened with Bud Light, but I can shed a little light into how it works in the corporate world. Yeah, no pun intended. When I was at Marlboro, like, these decisions do not go through the process that you think they do. What they really do is they get a focus group of like, this person's a level 13 on their 7th promotion and is 31 and this is their development experience. And they get this, and then they talk about it on a couple conference calls with the 5 people that live all across the country and the one director whose development experience it is to do this call once a week. But then they all have their regular jobs, and then before you know it, they send 6 cans to somebody, and then it was like, holy cannoli, everything's on fire.
yeah.
Like, it's not a situation where the people who ultimately had to answer for the crime were involved in the crime.
Yeah.
And I say crime facetiously because I mean it was a crime for them, I
Yep.
guess. But going after a diverse consumer group, many would argue, is not a crime. Like
Yeah.
the real problem is the environment they exist in, how quickly you can go viral, and it really all goes back to our access to information infrastructure, and it should be somewhat regulated. And this shit's gonna keep happening until the right people lose enough money that they then decide to regulate it.
Yep.
Right? That's what's gonna happen. Bud Light happened to be the first one. It's in little old St. Louis in the Midwest. Like, no one's mad about that. But this kind of thing happens to somebody who they are mad at in Amazon or whatever.
Yeah.
Then you'll see changes.
Well, the funny thing is, I hear, I go out to like happy hours and things like that, and I still hear probably once a week, I don't want that blah 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 beer, Bud Light, but give me a Michelob. It's like, dude, are you stupid?
Same
It's
company.
the same company.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the people.
So I think people now it's become this so crazy to where if you are holding a Bud Light can, that people just look at you different, which is the worst type of thing you could have happen to your company.
1,000. All right,
Like,
Dylan.
it's the same thing
you
about
Dylan Mulvaney fan? Okay.
And the reason Bud Light spiraled out of control is that, right? Like, the product by itself is a social statement.
Yeah.
Like, the people that really consume a lot of it will drink 20 of them in their basement, but that's not what they really talk about, right?
Correct.
When you're out in public consuming it, then it becomes your choice. You're up there. What do you choose? It's a topic of conversation. What everyone really needs to do is go to the bathrooms and scan the QR code.
So each week it gets worse and worse because each week people don't order it from the keg. Then the bar is not going to pick the product back
Yep.
up. Costco just said that they're not even going to offer it anymore because it's not selling. Costco
Really?
only is in the business of selling products that sell.
So they're not selling
They
Bud
put the
Light
stickers
at all.
on it. They put a sticker on it, which means like it's not getting restocked. It's like the blacklist of Costco, which is just a simple sticker of like, hey, get
Interesting.
this before it's never restocked. But
Interesting.
that's
Okay.
one wholesaler. As us as business owners, that's like us losing our biggest account.
Mm-hmm.
We lose a $50,000 a month client. Like
Yeah.
that hurts all of us
1,000%,
deep
yeah.
down. Now that's
Yep.
$1 billion client for them, or multi-million dollar client. But I look at it on a smaller scale. It's just a chain reaction, and then people talk about it. But like, you're not going to a bar and ordering a Bud Light. Just look, just watch.
No.
People aren't doing it right now. And even if they don't care.
What did we order
don't even,
at
I don't even care
Honky Tonk
about
Space Dust? That had me going. I never got that. I was like, oh, I wanted what Eric's having.
But I want to order local.
Space Dust, by the way, is an InBev beer.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it is? Okay. Yeah, that's good beer. It's strong. That's a strong beer.
They bought Elysium a couple years ago.
But yeah, like it was the same thing when people canceled Budweiser when they sold out to that company
InBev.
overseas. Yeah, it's like, oh, we hate you, but oh, we actually all work there and all of our families are supported by you. We're gonna love you again.
Yeah.
You know, so that's gonna come back, but like it goes all the way down to the guy that drives the Bud Light truck around to drop it off that has 3 kids that go to the school in the neighborhood. You know, it's like
It's real.
it's but yeah, Disney's the same way. Like Disney's trying so hard to please everybody when all they have to do is just make kids happy and make their parents buy tickets to go to the movies. It's a simple business model.
It
not
seems
that-
pretty easy, doesn't
It's not
it?
that simple though, because how do you make kids happy in this world? After all the things we just talked about, like Disney.
All they want to see is a dope cartoon.
what's dope.
They don't want some woke ass shit.
What's dope?
I don't know.
For a lot of the kids, it's what you describe as woke ass shit.
Well,
That's
the other
problem.
they're
is
on
everyone
YouTube.
lives in their own reality.
Yeah, well, they're on YouTube. They're watching, a podcast that garners 1 million views that, cost a company, $10,000 to record.
Actually, I just had an idea.
Versus shows, I think there's like 1,000 shows right now.
Miss Rachel is who Disney needs to hire. Have y'all heard of Miss Rachel?
Who's that?
Oh my God! Someone Google Miss Rachel. She's this 40-year-old school teacher in New York City who put up a green screen in her apartment and teaches kids how to talk. Like billions of YouTube views.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
I swear to God, Tino will change his entire demeanor. If Miss Rachel comes on, he will be mid-tantrum trying to jump down the stairs, banging his head, crying. Miss Rachel comes on and he's just like,
That's so weird.
Attention.
nothing
Yeah.
else. Like, Disney needs to hire Miss Rachel. Problem solved. Next one.
It's well, they're not doing a lot on the the mediums that we go back to leveraging.
So you think that's why people aren't going there though? Because of the stuff that they're doing?
I think
or do you think
no, I think parents are upset. Parents
Yeah.
take their kids.
yeah. And they're not
I
like,
guarantee kids still want to go,
Mhm.
but it's just like, no, we're not going to Disney.
I mean, don't forget DeSantis out there like fighting everyone that's trying to go in Disney. I mean, he's out there street fighting now.
Yeah, did you see that?
So is DeSantis going to be a thing? I thought a couple months ago he was
No.
for sure going to win.
No.
Now,
I don't think so.
No
he's
one
just
likes
a blip
him.
Yeah,
on
no
the
one
radar.
likes him. Yeah, the problem is he's not a likable
So
guy.
wait, what about Trump? Is he a likable guy?
Yes, sadly, yes. Yeah, he is. That's why he won the first time.
I think he won.
He's super
I think he-
likable.
I think he won the first time.
He's the
because
most entertaining dude of all time. It was
our
hilarious.
Access to information infrastructure is broken.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
exists to sell ads. It
You're
doesn't
correct.
exist to inform.
Correct.
And if you can't inform, how can you make informed decisions in a democracy? Like, it's a fundamental problem.
Because
That's-
imagine this.
Well, that's why you have JFK going on podcast, or RFK Jr. Excuse me, not JFK.
yeah. You guys getting him on the
DeSantis is
podcast?
basically the
that'd
angry
be
version
awesome.
of Trump. He has none of the
Charisma.
showmanship, the
Yeah.
charisma,
He's got
and he just all
zero.
bark, bark, bark.
Yep.
Yeah.
Think about if JFK was in the White House right now. Like, you
Yeah.
think we would remember him?
He
in
would have been
history the
taken
way
out
we do
again.
Now?
Yeah, he'd be taken out again.
Like,
Just like I'm worried RFK Jr. is going to be taken out.
JFK is one of those people where everyone's like, "Oh yeah, JFK doesn't matter what side of the aisle," but it's just funny because it's all just time and place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when Clinton was like, "Let's do stock buybacks," no one was like, "This is a horrible fucking idea that's gonna
Because
bankrupt
everybody was
all
making
our
money.
kids."
Everybody was making money.
Like, no one makes these decisions intentionally.
Yeah.
The world around them changes, and they're all rational actors with the information they have, and then shit just runs downhill. Is what happens.
Well, we've made a lot of changes on the podcast today, I think.
I can't believe
we've
this
done a lot
I
of
can't
good.
believe this is what it was like. I thought we were coming here to talk about screens. This was a blast. Thank you guys for teaching me who Adam 22 is.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I'm
look him up.
definitely gonna tell this OnlyFans story. I can't believe Eric had the OnlyFans payment in his computer.
Yeah,
Is that what he
saved.
said?
yeah,
Saved.
yeah. Well, he
Yeah.
said he didn't, and then we saw some.
I actually opened up a credit card that gave me 5% back on all OnlyFans.
Nice.
Oh
so,
damn! I didn't know they had those.
Yeah,
That's dope.
it's the OnlyFans credit card.
He's an Adam 22 stan.
backed by
So-
Synchrony
Text
Bank.
me where you got that credit card.
So before we got out, you had a question.
Oh yeah. So I always ask the people on my show, what is their STL bucket list? So this just means different to everybody else.
What do you mean by that?
I mean the best places to hike, your favorite places to go to eat, brunch spots. Like,
okay.
what would you say? And it doesn't mean like places you have to do before you die. That's a different word. But
Okay.
if you got friends coming in town, what are some of the places in STL that you're taking them?
Brunch is going to be. They have 2 locations, one in Fenton and one.
Russell's?
The Shack, if we're talking brunch. The Shack, baby.
Russell's?
The Shack.
Russell's is in Fenton and Russell's is in South City too. They got a good brunch.
Russell's. Russell's on Macklin.
Yep.
Russell's on Macklin is
Great
amazing.
Client.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Shack's fire too.
Shack is great.
Also client.
No, Shack. Yeah, Shack is great. I got one right down the street from me.
So that's
Also-
that's where we're gonna do our first Instagram announcement of these screens are the Instagram page. It's gonna be live from the Shack's bathroom.
Yeah.
We're gonna be in the bathroom at the Shack. We need the video equipment.
Friday
That's
afternoon,
hilarious.
live from the Shack.
What's your best hiking trail? We like hiking too.
I go to Hawn State Park.
Okay.
Take the trip an hour south. It's well worth it.
I was just at Cliff Cave in South County last week, and then we went to one. I forgot what the other one was.
Garden of the Gods in Illinois is great.
Okay. So you drive for these?
Yeah,
You'll go far away.
I'll wake up early and get out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I'm just right around here, I mean, we have a ton of good trails out in like Fenton area,
Yeah.
like all along 44 down there. You got Merrimack State Park on the north side, and then on the south side you have like the Elk. What do you call it? The Elk.
Elk Lodge or
No.
Elk Trail.
Come on, damn it.
What do you want? You say the word elk and expect us to
They
mean
have a-
something?
I'm not a
Lone Elk Park.
Oh, Lone
Excuse
Elk.
me.
Yeah,
Lone
yeah,
Elk,
yeah, yeah,
Lone
yeah.
Elk Park.
Oh, we took Sunny there where you could see the animals out of that. Yeah, my wife loves that.
So
place.
Lone Elk Park, you got a bunch of good hiking there. On the south side of 44, you have some good hiking right there as well.
What about
yeah.
date night spots? Where are you taking them OnlyFans girls at?
Olive and Oak.
to his bank that issues credit cards.
I like Olive and Oak.
Great restaurant.
I like
Great restaurant. Great oysters.
Yeah, I like the French spot in Brasserie in Central West
Yeah,
End.
brasserie. Yeah.
I like can I talk shit on a couple restaurants I've had an issue with lately?
This is your podcast.
Yeah. This is
So-
your show, bro.
So
But yes, I give you authority.
So everyone's gonna hate me on this. What's your favorite seafood restaurant in St. Louis? Do you guys like seafood?
Peacemakers, lobster and crab.
Thank you. That's who I was gonna hit on. I have been there twice within the past year, spending probably $250 for 2 people,
It's expensive.
and I've had an awful experience both times.
What's her handle? Is that what they're called on OnlyFans?
Oh, what's her handle?
That joke didn't
Oh,
land.
what's
because I
what's
said
the
handle
chick's
right.
handle I brought?
Yeah, same thing.
What's what's her
He's
name?
my babe. Look what I
Eliza
learned
Black.
today. And she's
What's
like,
her
How do
name?
you know that?
This is a handle.
Black, yeah, Black.
tell her your
I
wife
brought
when you
Black
get
China. I brought Black China.
Oh,
there.
damn.
So
She
you know.
bought dinner then.
That's
so
right.
it's
She
fine.
got-
You
she
can't
got dinner.
complain. Yeah.
And I had like both
Peacemakers
times.
has been good. I've had it.
Dude, I don't know why.
But the last 2 times you went, it
I
was
got got bad oysters. They brought out bad oysters. They threw the whole batch out.
Oh damn.
I
You ate one
I
and
got
you're
like the
this is
shrimp
bad.
boil. Yes, fuck, it tastes like shit. I got the shrimp boil. The corn was terrible. The shrimp wasn't even like de-pooped or anything. So like it was just a bitch and a half. It was just an absolute shit show. And I was like, anyway, so that was actually so
While
funny.
you're on the rant, go ahead, go do the other one, the St. Louis home brand one that
So
you
you
love so much.
know what's coming back actually is the Shack. So they own the tavern as well.
Yeah.
Used to be amazing. I walk into the tavern last Thursday. The whole menu's changed. All of their good shit that they had is gone. And it's all because apparently they brought on an executive chef at the beginning of the year, changed the whole menu. That guy is now gone. They got a new executive chef as of a couple weeks ago, and they're bringing all their food back that they had previously had. But it's like, I didn't really necessarily have a bad experience, but I wanted to go in there and get the shit I like, and literally nothing was there. Pot stickers weren't there. My steak and broccoli wasn't there. I was like, what the hell?
It's cool that they're going back though. If it ain't broke,
Well-
don't fix it.
Well, I was sitting at the bar and I was talking to literally 8 different people, and they were all saying the exact same thing as where's all my favorite shit. So it's like you change the menu, but add some stuff, but why remove everything that
Take your popular items.
Yeah,
They're bringing it back.
It made no sense.
I mean, it's kind of like the Bud Light thing, right? They think they're supposed to hire an executive chef, so they do, and then they give him his vision.
Yeah.
And then they say this is fucking stupid, and
Yeah.
then they go back to what they were.
That's
Yeah.
a good spot though. Tavern's great.
Tavern's
Well,
great.
they're charging $18 for Josh a cab, and I was like, this is fucking highway
Sure,
robbery.
you go down to St. Louis, bro. Like cocktails. I mean, I was at the Four Seasons at Cinder House. I was paying $22 for one cocktail.
I was at the Four Seasons.
Just get
Lucas
hammered
was
before I
paying
go out at that point.
$22.
Oh yeah, you can't afford.
You
to
might
get
as well
hammered.
you might as well go buy some nice bottles of wine and bring them in and pay the corkage fee of like $15.
Yeah,
Like, why not just do that? That's what I do all the time now.
you have been doing that. I've never done that before.
all the time. Even Olive and Oak's like $20.
Really? And
So
buy,
you
like,
can bring
nice-
a bottle of wine in.
Dude, we had a good time at Field Box that one time.
Dude,
We
that
didn't
place-
spend any
Yeah, Field
money.
Box is a
That
good
place-
place.
we
yeah.
spent like $6 and we had a blast.
We were getting straight whiskey.
It's a lot different in St. Charles, and then you go down to St. Louis City, and you're like,
Yeah.
whoa, okay.
No, I have to if I'm getting like
Brassery's a good spot though.
Brassery's great. If I'm getting like a $12 drink or something like that, it better be good. Otherwise,
Have you
I'm
had the
pissed.
tomahawk at Olive and Oak, the cowboy steak?
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
what I get almost
God,
every time.
$98.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. I split it. Me and my wife eat it, and we still
But-
take it home and eat it again for breakfast the next day
Exactly.
with
I was
eggs.
gonna
Are you
say.
fucking kidding me,
Yeah,
dude?
that's what I do
God.
too. That's exactly what I do.
Yeah, dude, it's so good.
I
I think
love-
4 people could eat that.
Hamilton's is great. Hamilton Steakhouse. That place is great. There's a lot of good.
Dude,
There's a lot of
you
good
guys-
restaurants and stuff. In
All
St. Louis.
those places you named, not even close to our bucket list. But mine is so like, it's such a small sample size, right? It's like, who would come from out of town? Only people from home.
Mm-hmm.
We're going right to the hill. Might make a trip to Ted Drew's. If there's kids, we're going to City Museum.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're finishing the night with Buca and we're going back to Bacardi's. like,
The hill is weird though.
the
you
hill
have
is
to
like
go-
my home. That's
I
the
love the
thing
hill.
that
You have to
reminds
go
me
to the right
most
spot,
of
Which
Kenosha.
I need to talk to you about that. They want us to join the network there in the Hill.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll talk about that off there. But the Hill
Get me
is
in. I'm a Sicilian.
Yeah.
I'm Sicilian. Get me in.
Look
Let's
in the
get it.
mirror, homie.
I know. Yeah, you're a little bit more than me.
That's true.
Well,
I'm
what,
pretty
you said
pale.
the Hill is weird, but why? What do you mean the Hill is weird?
So I love Italian food. The problem is I don't get along with Italian food. Like
Your
pasta.
body doesn't.
Yeah, pasta fucks me up. Red
Dude,
sauce.
Red sauce?
Red sauce fucks me up.
You give me some sambuca, some sausage and peppers. Go hang out at Milo's at the Boche Court.
Now
Just
this-
kick it all day.
This. Are we going to Milo's after this?
I have to go to a meeting, but I could go after that.
All right, there we go.
Arrentinis from
So what's
Charlie
your favorite
Gito's.
Italian place? There's so many.
He's only been here for 6 months though, so he has a
What's
small
your
sample.
favorite Italian place?
A place that's special to us is Charlie Gito's, and that's just because we've been there to celebrate anniversaries, birthdays, and I love Charlie Gito's, and it's consistent every time. They take
Yep.
your coat off. The
We did our
experience.
rehearsal dinner there before we moved here, actually.
Yeah, Charlie Gito's is bomb. The service is amazing too. Katie's is good too though.
Yeah.
The thing
Yeah.
for me
Yeah, Katie's is good. Yeah.
that was so hard to
That's local. It's a
comprehend
great. They got a couple locations.
was the cheese. Like,
The
When
the mozzarella.
no, the
Provo.
Provel. When I first
Oh, you're
Emo's.
talking
took
about
a
St. Louis.
bite of
Yeah.
Emo's pizza, I thought it was broken. I was like, how? I was like,
What the hell is this pizza,
did
dude?
Somebody put something on this that is not pizza.
Yeah.
And now it's hilarious because, like, a year later, I'm just like, yeah, that shit's fire.
Yeah.
Like, it's just what you know. Like,
Yeah.
taste is so subjective.
New York pizza's better though. Sorry.
I like thin crust, but I want
I like
some
the
real
thin, hard pieces.
mozzarella. I don't need.
I'm a
Provel all the
David
time.
Portnoy fan of pizza. Like
Are
what
you?
he likes, the no flop.
No
Just
flop.
a nice piece. Oh my god.
You do the no topping?
The-
you just do the cheese?
No,
That's
I
what
would
he
meat
does.
lovers.
The
Meat
thinner,
lover.
the better.
Go some.
Of course. That's his
Go
ad on
some. Go some.
OnlyFans. Meat
Go some.
lovers.
You know, trying to throw some sausage. You know.
Some sauce.
And the City Museum. I remember the first time I went to the City Museum.
So awesome.
Yeah.
What's cool about that?
I think
is
his
it's-
ex-wife killed him. By the way.
Oh no shit!
That's a conspiracy.
Wow.
Look into that.
Um,
He died at the he died building the concrete place. There's a conspiracy behind
Yeah,
it.
the
Apparently rolled down a
concrete
hill.
place, yeah.
Apparently fell over him.
Yep.
Some little weird stuff.
Crazy
going
guy,
on.
super creative guy. But yeah, the City Museum is one of the coolest places in the
well,
world.
that's something that you can't get anywhere else.
Well, is there
Like, you
is-
can go
Is
to
there
bigger
anything like that
cities.
anywhere else?
No.
No.
City Museum, Ted Drew's, those are like St. Louis. Like the Hill's awesome, but there is a Little Italy
in every city.
in Chicago.
Yeah.
In Los Angeles.
Well, Ted
in
Drews
New
gets
York.
a fuckload of money back too. He sends a
Ted
couple kids to
Drews-
college every year that works there. It's
Ted
awesome.
Drew's
He's a badass.
is so crazy for me to think about as a concept. That's the small business peak,
Mhm.
right? That is the goal.
Yep.
And it can only exist.
1000%,
It can
yeah.
only exist in a place like this that is the same size it was 100 years ago,
Mhm.
right? There's no other place that went from Alpha World City to Big Metro.
Yep.
Like everything else went the other way.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's old, historic, really cool shit. Like where my brother-in-law lives in Benton Park, his house was built in like 1868 or some shit.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like
My house is 1910.
How many?
So historic.
That is
how many people have died in that house?
bananas. I don't know.
I haven't looked at the history of
But
it.
like,
What is with you getting just like dark everything?
And that's what makes
murdered
this
So do you believe in ghosts?
Eric needs some work.
That's a different conversation. My wife is still listening. She does believe in ghosts.
All
And
right,
me and her have conversations
while we're on
about
this
that all the time.
topic, tell me what y'all think about UAPs.
They're real.
They're definitely real.
And there's something.
Congress is talking
There's
about them.
something
They're
else
coming.
going on. That's right. All right. Before we wrap up today's episode, what social media profiles, businesses, etc., would you like to plug for the audience? Go ahead and tell them now.
Yeah,
is
so
you,
you
buddy.
can follow us on at STL Bucket List. We're super active. We post 3 to 4 times a day. We highlight the people, places, and events that make St. Louis special. Also, Social Indoor STL on Facebook, but just follow Alby on Facebook because he'll be posting pictures of people that he talks to on a daily basis. So
Thank you for the plug, but Bucket List is where it's at.
There
Soon
we
you're
go.
going to see the merger, and the crowd in St. Louis is not going to be able to differentiate between the screens and Instagram.
Let's go.
They're going to be one and the same. And support the people, places, and things that make St. Louis special. Always keep buying local.
Yep. That's how we should end this podcast. Support
every
local.
time.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the most important thing. It's the only place where the American dream is left. Honestly.
Yep. All right. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you guys for joining us.
Eric, this was a
an
blast.
absolute
Yeah,
A
blast.
little
Thanks, man.
different than
Appreciate you,
I
bro.
thought,
Absolutely.
but definitely fun.
It was a good time.
Drink your wine, bro. Come on.
I got to go to a meeting. I'm not a big weekday on Tuesday in the afternoon drinker.
Hold on. That's all the time we have for today. However, the St. Louis podcast will be back next week, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time with a new episode, new guests, and unfortunately, probably not Garrett, but definitely myself. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching live or later and we said something wrong, said something you hate, or said something you want to hear more about, you can visit us at thestlouispodcast.com and leave us a message telling us all about it. If we pissed you off, feel free to personally send me a message. That way I can respond to you because that's always fun. Finally, this episode was recorded at Half Coast Studios. Thank you, Matt, as always. If you are in St. Louis, or even if you're not in St. Louis and looking to take your podcast to the next level, please reach out to them at halfcoaststudios.com. You'll probably be talking to one of my business partners, Alex Dietrich, here, and of course, meeting Matt. They'll get you well taken care of. It's been a pleasure speaking with you both today and a pleasure hosting the podcast for the people of St. Louis. We'll see you again next Friday. Thank you.
Hey there, St. Louis podcast listeners. We've got some exciting news from our sponsor, Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, led by the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Lee. Mark Lee of Farmers Insurance is recruiting agency owners here in St. Louis.
That's right, Garrett, and everyone knows what Farmers Insurance is, and if they don't, they will now.
Yes, it's kind of a household name. That said, as many of you know, a large part of our audience is made up of badass business owners, entrepreneurs, and top producing sales professionals with an open mind like yourself. Farmers Insurance is currently searching for driven individuals who aspire to own their own business or already own their own business and want to add another income stream to join the Farmers Insurance brand and own their own insurance agency.
This is a stellar opportunity to build your own insurance agency from scratch, take over an existing agency, or if you're just a slow roller, we know you the guys out there and ladies, get paid to train under an existing successful agency owner before starting your own.
Holy shit, Eric. That means that whether you have experience as a business owner or you've never heard the word business before in your life, there's a pathway to owning your own business through Farmers Insurance Agency led by Mark Lee.
That's right. You can become a Farmers Insurance business owner even if you've been homeless in the past, just like you.
Yeah, thanks.
If you've ever dreamt of being your own boss, building a team under a reputable brand, and making a difference in your community by offering top-tier auto, home, and commercial insurance to consumers and businesses in your area, Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, led by the godlike man himself, Mark Lee, has the perfect opportunity for you.
Visit insurancecareerstl.com to speak with Mark Lee, the district manager of Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, to become a Farmers Insurance agency owner today.
Did you hear that, St. Louis? Go visit insurancecareerstl.com. Insurancecareerstl.com. That is INSURANCE. Career, CAREERSTL.com.
To become a business owner today. Again, one more time. Visit Insurance Career, STL, as in St. Louis.com today, right now, this second, or reach out to us at stlouispodcast.com and we'll introduce you to Mark Lee ourselves. And I promise he won't spell out insurance and career to you.